Hi. Hi.
Oh. Almost.
Do we get anybody that?
Public, you mean? No. I can get that in by 4. You guys grab agendas and minutes here. Lauren?
I brought one, but I didn't bring the minutes. I haven't in it.
There you go. You grab one.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Amazing what a printer can do.
Thanks for clicking the send.
Bet.
The reference printers that's working, I have a jam, and but we couldn't find a jam. And bring blue canned air in there, and that works, because it's like whatever sensor thought was a jam, it just has a little test on it. That's all it's needed, and then it's done working again.
The stuff aren't always just like you run something through and it's just like there's been an internal code and it just stops. It's just like time for a new printer.
Yeah.
Review.
There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna run and get Cheryl, because, she's leaving after this meeting, so I'm gonna grab her.
Charity, can you hear us okay? You're a lifesaver. You made it a quorum. Hey.
Yay, I see everyone. Sorry, it's a really busy day. Julia has tryouts, my other daughter has a track meet, and it's my birthday, and it's just been a mess. So
Happy birthday, Charity.
thank you. But I wanted to be able to join at least for a bit.
Good, well, we need you for the quorum, so I
Yes.
think we can call the meeting to order.
Oh,
Let's go.
We got it.
All right, here we go. There are no public comments that I'm aware of today, so we'll move on. Need someone to allow the minutes. I looked up the minutes from March. All right, thank you, Carrie. We have a second. All right, thank you, Lauren. We got, do you need to vote or? If anybody's opposed. Is anybody opposed to that? All right, minutes are approved. Thank you. All right, on the agenda, we've got the arts and culture show at the library, and Cheryl, your first on the agenda. We're ready for you to share with us, Cheryl.
All right, what questions do you have for me?
Can you
Well,
hear okay, Charity?
Yeah, it's kind of echoey, but I can hear you.
I think actually, I'd like to turn it over to you, Carrie. You've been in charge of this project.
Well, so one of the questions we had, I'm sitting on this. Is it an echo chamber? It's very echo, I just like an open spot. Anyway, we had a handful of questions at the bottom of our topic that you addressed a lot of those last time, and so I updated the March draft. So the version that is in Google Docs as well as the hard copy that folks have. To capture these things that you told us last time. I think it's especially useful for the people who are in the room today to just appreciate that this is how much wall space we have. And I assume these are.
Yes.
Exactly. So while we aren't necessarily explicitly stating some of those limitations in the fall, I think it's just important that we all kind of put that in the back of our minds of, like, well, if we get 972 entries of sculpture, we can accept that, right? It's just good to kind of.
Stuff can only be hung from the top, right? So you can't put several up.
Actually, yeah, you can, so see that those two pieces like that, so the smaller pieces can double up on one wire like that. Yeah. And even though the hanging system is so you prefer to use the hanging system, you can use push pins. So people with some of really small light art that doesn't actually hang very well from those hooks, and they might hang better from push pins, these walls will accept those just fine, and it's stable and it doesn't hurt.
And I know you said that you don't have any limitations on, because in your circumstance, it's completely on the artist.
Correct.
So there's less of a need to state, it can't be doing this, or it can't be doing that, or if you can't look at your own artwork, it's your problem. We did put some limitations, since we'll be the ones staging the show. A little bit more, a few more guardrails around that, including like some placement. Yeah. I think the other piece that we need to coordinate with you specifically is getting on the library's calendar for actually setting up, for doing the art intake system.
Yeah, definitely. So probably the best thing to do is for you, whoever's coordinating that, to we can coordinate by email and get that on the schedule for this group. And it's really to how long and what day you want. If you want to do that at this point, or if you want to wait till later, that's totally up to you. I'm open. We can do it tomorrow if you want. And I recommend scheduling both the setup, time and date, and the takedown time and date at the same time, just getting them both on the schedule and removing that spot.
And in terms of, well, so again, this isn't necessarily a coordination problem that you face with the monthly show. But since we're going to be asking multiple artists to drop off and then setting it up separate from that, is there a preferred way to handle that? And I don't know, I don't want this room to be full of art just hanging against the walls temporarily.
Yeah, so that's kind of up to you. I would recommend trying to have that as close together as possible. Like saying to the artist, you can drop off between 10 and 2 on Monday, and we'll be installing the art from 4 to 6, or something like that. And it's okay, as long as we know far enough in advance, if we kind of like block the room up for that day.
Okay.
Multiple days would start to become more problematic.
Can I interrupt for just a second? Charity wanted to go quickly because she has something else to come up. And so
I have to do my Uber mom duties soon. So I wanted to know if I could bump, just to give the updates for the farmer's market and the old time fair updates about having a booth.
Charity, we need to actually vote on the call for artists while you're here.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just letting you know, just because she has to be there by 5:45. So,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's move, we can talk logistics here in a minute. And somebody can move to approve the draft of the art show or the call for art.
Well, it's not done. I think we still, we need to make sure that we agree on the name, the plugin, and then we also, usually there's like a little preamble that, like maybe we don't even need a preamble, maybe the celebrating the Lord of Linn is enough of a preamble. But typically there's like a little bit of a page in there. Is it overview or what?
I think you can vote to work on that. They'll assign somebody to work on that, accept what they do. And then I can just move on from that.
Yeah, I feel like I move to accept the call for art with a whole thing of like filling in the details of the dates and all of that stuff. That still needs to be confirmed.
You want to frame it by, your motion is to accept the call for arts with possible more edits to be done by the Arts and Culture Commission going forward.
Okay, so I move to accept the call for art with possible edits by members of the Arts and Culture Commission.
I second.
Thank you, Charity.
Welcome.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you, Charity, for holding on for that.
No, that's okay.
And with the approval of the group, we can have Charity's update before she rolls away. Okay, go for it, Charity.
That would be great. Thank you so much. So I talked to the city, the two different people in charge for if we wanted to have a booth for the farmer's market. There are 17 dates for the farmer's market that they said they'd be happy to give us some of those dates to have for having a table at no charge, so we could promote the August Art and Culture Show, and also if we wanted just to promote in general about our group, even have some local artists display their art there just for the booth. So I wanted to find out from the group how many Wednesday evenings we would want to say we would like to have the city booth. So the first question I had, how many would you think would be appropriate, or does anyone have any thoughts about that?
I think it's a big commitment to staff it. If we could be there every week, and that'd be awesome. If I can't staff this. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'll be there
We'll
with
be sharing it probably with like sustainability as well. So we can do 2, we can do 4. It's not like it's a whole bunch. So there's 17 Wednesdays. So we can say we'd like to have in my mind, I was thinking 4 tops. Because that way we have enough where we have enough in the little bit, maybe in the beginning, more towards the end to really push it, because that's going to be more where we have people coming in August. So I was thinking if we said we'd like to have 4 tops, I think that would be maybe a good number. I'm happy to go sit at the booth during those times. I need to tell her what we were thinking and when we were thinking, whether we wanted to have it more in the beginning, which is May 25th is the first one, or do we want to do more in the latter part of or spread it out where it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll just add, and she was gonna come last time, but she didn't, but I did meet with a lovely girl who lives in West End, and she's a burgeoning artist graduating from George Fox, and she was like, I want to volunteer for your crew. And I was like, okay, we're not doing anything yet, but she said she would be happy to like, oh, great, table booths and do whatever. So there are potential additional resources as well as Charity. Thank you for offering to sit at those. I mean, nights in the summer are hard for me to commit to.
Yeah, and I also have just connection in my neighborhood. I told my neighbors about it, and one of them actually, she's a wonderful artist, and they said they'd love to go sit and just hang out and talk about it. So I mean, I know we could pull in other people from the community that if we had, I'm happy to do it. I could commit to 4 of those during the summer because I go anyway. That we could do a booth and just have it where we're just doing public awareness, which is really what the booth is for. So just want to throw it out there if we want to think about it. But we probably, since the first one's coming up May 25th, it'd be good to know how many we'd like to have. It doesn't mean we have to do them all, since it's there. It's a no charge service that they get to us since it's part of the city.
Just as a resource note, hi Charity, I'm Danielle.
Hi Danielle.
Yeah, I just want to note that I have clearance for up to 5 of them, which was kind of what we discussed in the original email. There might be more flexibility if you guys want more dates. The only other consideration is just like that we would have to ask you to provide the tables and the chairs and the tablecloths and stuff like that, because kind of coordinating that between like switching out for city gear just sounds like a logistical nightmare. Yeah, that's the only other real thing, I think. As long as we have that piece, we're happy to have you guys come do the booth and ICC.
And I have a card table and fold out chairs. And so I'm happy to do that and bring a tablecloth. I think that takes minimal effort, especially for what we're just trying to do. So I'm happy to just coordinate it and do it for the city if you want to have something. So we just need to let Danielle know like how many, really, Danielle, what days we want to commit. Okay.
I think it'd be smart for us to think about it, like what kind of materials we might want to have at that booth for somebody to walk away with. So I think just a little bit more time to think about it, Charity.
Yeah.
Totally commit. I think May 25th, since it's just a few weeks away, is probably just a little bit too soon for us to be ready to have that kind of presence. Exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking more like latter of June, July, actually, like later. I just need to let Danielle know, like as a yes or no. It'd be nice for her to be able to coordinate. But I agree, like to be able to put something together, absolutely. Because we're in May, and I'm going to be gone the last 2 weeks of June till like the 4th of July. So I'm happy to do it. I'd say the latter part of the farmers markets for sure. And I'm happy to take it on. And we can think about what we want as a handout or what we want to do.
Great, that sounds really good. Can you propose some dates for us that since you're excited about doing it, maybe for
Sure.
that you're willing to do it, and those can be the dates.
Sure. Danielle, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as also for the old time fair, I talked to them and want to understand it is all, again, a no charge booth, but they wanted us to commit for all 3 days. And I said that we don't have the manpower to do that. The sustainability committee said that they are only doing one day, the 1 day Saturday, and they have a booth for no charge. So technically they have to give us a booth for no charge because it's for the city. And when I talked to Terry on the sustainability committee about it, and Kim, they're like, you don't let them tell you you have to be there for 3 days. You can come when you can for the one day if you want to promote it. And we want to do that. Unfortunately, I am gone that weekend, so I cannot do that one. But if someone does want to be there, again, it'd be the same situation where they can provide us with a booth for that event if somebody wants to do that. If not, we can say, no, we don't want to do that for the old time fair, just to give out information. And that date would be, it's July 15th through the 17th. It starts Friday to Sunday. So if you wanted to do it and you said I could do it just on Sunday, then just do it on Sunday. Because we leave, I think that Friday or Saturday for vacation.
I'll already be there on Saturday for Youth Music Project. We have a booth and performance there, so I'll be there. My energy will be focused.
Yeah.
My work for pay job.
Yeah.
Out of town.
Okay, so maybe that one's not a good fit for us. It sounds like.
Or I can, maybe we can reach out to the volunteer person and see if she wants to. I mean, she's young, but if I go to the fair, I'm going with my tiny people.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw it out there. If somebody was like gung ho, they wanted to do that one, but I cannot do that one. I can totally commit to the Summer's Farmers Market.
Cool, thanks Charity for bringing us those outreach opportunities.
Sure. Yeah, and the
Go back to the farmer's market real quick for 1 second.
Yeah.
Just depending on your availability and what we decide on the call for arts, if June 17th becomes the actual deadline to apply, if there's any way to get in there just at least 1 day before the call for artists closes, to just get maybe 2 or 3 people to, I don't know if people will apply at all, but there's in the first 2 weeks of June an opportunity that you're available, that might be a good.
Yeah, that would be great. If we decide we have something we want to put together as a handout, I'm happy. I could definitely do it in June, in the first 2 weeks. So I'm happy to do that so we can promote the call for artists.
As long as none of them's the first Wednesday, so it's not a conflict.
The second Wednesday. Then the second Wednesday,
Yeah,
because you'll be here the first Wednesday.
We have a meeting there.
Yeah,
We're all-
we'll have a meeting there. We'll have everybody there. It'd be great. And so the last piece was the art walk, but Carrie sent me just the map and everything, and I can just honestly, I just don't know how to put that together to make it. That would be another handout we could do at one of the booths. It'd be nice just to say, oh, this is a nice little, these are some fun art pieces that you can go and do a walk around West Linn or different areas you can go drive to see. So I actually need help with that. I don't know if Doug, if he knows anyone who might be good at designing something that would be a nice little postcard to give out or something they could scan. But so that's a work in progress. So I'm working on it, but I have to be honest, I really need help in how to do that. So
Draft brochure that we were going to finish up and hand out at some event at the McLean House that was scheduled for approximately 6 weeks after COVID hit. So we do have the beginnings of one. I mean, it's not the word was fantastic contribution to brochure design. I made it PowerPoint, but we have the beginnings of that.
I think that would be, if we can get our act together, it would be a really great thing to pass out.
yeah, it would be nice. And so I think I just need to get separately together with someone to kind of put our heads together how to execute it, as far as the wonderful list that Carrie sent to me of all the different things you can go and see. That's where I don't have the creative ability, like how do we want to execute it? So maybe we can put our heads together off of the meeting later. So
There are these websites for graphic designers where you can submit projects and then they can bid on them. Maybe that's something we can do. We just submit it as a project and see what kind of proposals we get back.
that might be a good
They're
idea.
pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Obviously it'd be great if somebody here in West Linn was designing that for us, if we do the some graphic designers. I don't know if we're spending that kind of, if we're spending
spend money on something if we have to do, like an RFP process or
I think
anything
it
like
depends on
that?
how much it is, right? So there's no harm in getting bids.
Yeah.
And if you get 3 bids, then that takes care of that piece. And you do have some money from in the AC's Arts and Culture Commission percentage for the arts fund.
Yeah.
We could use for that.
Okay,
And Andrew's a graphic designer and I do graphic design here and there too, but
And doing a postcard seems pretty straightforward.
Within our-
Yeah, like,
yeah.
rather than limited, put a QR code on there. Like, awesome.
I'm not saying I personally want to do
No,
it.
no.
But I would feel more comfortable about one of us doing it gratis than doing something like Fiverr. But I would
Right.
Okay, good to know.
all right, so we'll work on that, Doug. I'll probably be reaching out to you private, just so we can figure that out from designers and whatnot, if that's okay. All right, I'm gonna try to join from my phone so I can drive at the same time and listen. So
Okay.
if I have to get her to her tryout.
Thank you, Chair.
So Doug, when you see it pop up on Zoom and someone else, it's just me. So,
Okay. I see it.
oh, there you go.
I'm gonna let you know.
All right, I'm gonna exit from the, oh, and here I am again.
No. It's all the charity.
All right, did it do it? Did it not do it? Did it do it? No.
You were on for a second. Now I don't see you.
Oh, I think.
I still see you, but I don't see the other.
No, let's see.
You
I'm
can
gonna-
just go ahead and log out and then log in.
All right. I'll do that.
Okay.
Is there a need for us to vote on any of those dates for outreach or
No.
any of that process? It's just kind of
You just go ahead and choose those. All right, Charity, can you hear us okay? All right. There we go. See you.
how to-
Stealing now.
All right, do you have any questions for me?
I think it'd be good to double triple check anyway, as a group before we walk out anytime. That sounds like.
Yep.
Have you reserved a room?
Well, I'll definitely shoot you an email, I'll get you on the schedule. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email as well.
Thanks,
Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Right. Mary, do you want to talk about this?
Well, I think, so there are some
There's more things
big
we gotta figure out.
gaping holes in it. So there's the question of the fee.
How did the votes go?
I only got 2 submissions and 1 person voted for no fee for first and second choice. And somebody else voted for 9706838 first and no fee second. And that was all I heard.
I tried to make it real easy. I didn't realize we were voting, so I apologize for not voting. I was voting for 9706838. That's cute.
I think Charity sent an email saying that she liked that too. So we could do.
I think maybe both of them were first.
No, one of them was mine.
Oh.
I love the distraction.
But then another really big goal here is we have no way of sending it out.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, like, I don't know if that's a Shane question. I have a feeling that if we set up a Gmail account, that we might get our list one, but also I suspect that.
I think we have a workaround.
Okay.
I think if we've had to do this for some other things here. If we set up a Gmail account with it forwarded automatically to our arts and culture account, then we can use a Gmail account. So
So,
that does the public records. It will allow for the public records to be fulfilled if needed, because it's going back. It's also being forwarded to our city email, your city email, excuse me. So we can set up a Gmail account, and you would send from that, but you'd also forward it to our other one. I can help you do that.
No, I guess I just kind of have, like, it just feels weird having it be our official address, but having it be email.
And are you just,
So-
is this because things get bumped into spam? Is that why
No,
you
just
doesn't
because I
have it?
think from a.
No
Public
commissions
yeah.
have city email addresses.
Yes.
There's no one that does it.
No,
Yeah.
that's giving the public access to city email systems and they just won't do that.
Yeah.
So when our citywide email was down, a lot of us, because our stuff was not going out, we created Mel WPL,
Yeah.
you know, at Gmail, but then you go right in there and then it would forward.
Well, but, so is that preferable to us doing something like setting up a newsletter? I mean, it just feels weird setting up a personal Gmail account essentially and blasting it out to. You know,
Well,
right now.
that's what I'm saying, I can set that up, so it's the city setting up the Gmail account for you.
No, but even that many, like, it's a bulk email, and I'm wondering if we should be using something like MailChimp or a constant contact. Like,
Yeah,
people.
we certainly use-
Do
you
we
certainly
have
use
email
MailChimp.
addresses to send it to?
We have 55,
Really?
yes.
Oh, I'm so amazed.
Oh, I don't
So let me clarify for a second, is the issue is that you don't have an email address that you can access, that's the city's
I
to
guess-
respond back and forth with for.
So in the short term, it's that we don't even have a way of sending it out, period.
Sure.
And then over the longer term, we won't have a way of administering our mailing list. So right now, our mailing list sign up is just a Google form. What I did was I exported our Google form results into a spreadsheet and downloaded it and then uploaded it to the Dropbox so that it's officially recorded. But there's software that does all of this end to end, like all the email management systems. So like people, if somebody wanted to unsubscribe from our mailing list, they would literally reply to this email address, and then one of us would have to go in and delete them from a spreadsheet, which is not necessarily, like it's.
So what software would you like to have?
Well, I know that the city uses MailChimp, right? So something like that, like if we could just maintain a list in MailChimp. then we could do it.
I know we have MailChimp, like singular use and stuff. I know
Yeah.
We had a second one, so I know this is delaying it for a little bit, but can I ask directly to you, or for you, on behalf of this group to Shane, and see what I can look up?
That would be fantastic. I mean, we don't need that for our very first email, obviously, but I want to make sure that we're kind of forward looking.
So I don't understand directly what you want. You would like a email that you can accept and send from, right? Send and receive.
And then just a way of,
Managing them,
And a management software, mail management software like MailChimp
Yeah.
to use in that environment.
for at least outbound broadcast messages.
Yeah. Newsletters or stuff.
Yeah.
to send newsletters.
And I'm volunteering her and myself to tag team machine.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
But in the short term, I guess we could set up
Yeah, let me see if I can actually get an answer by tomorrow. So if you can wait one more day, we can see what we can find out. I'm at City Hall tomorrow, so.
I'm not at city.
Oh, you're not.
But I will be available.
I'm gonna speak directly on behalf of. this. And you're so passionate about this, I could not just let this go. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And so then we will, if we're doing all of our submissions via email, then we'll set up an email account for that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, yeah, if you figured out a way for us to have a send and
I mean, as long as you have that, we can get you I think that, because MailChimp is it's a cloud-based system, it's on our server, so. I don't see that part won't be the issue, the issue will be the email that you want, that as a Western working.gov. You would have access to, be able to use, so that's the harder question.
Okay, well, and if that's I get, it's like the two-sided questions, like how do we broadcast messages, like how do we manage a newsletter? And then also how do we email people. And I was, based on previous conversations with Shane, I got the impression that all things Google back. And so I figured I'm setting up a Gmail account with that, these smaller box.
Without going into all the details, I think there's been a few things that have happened in the last little while that have required us to have some different workarounds.
Okay. Okay, so for the, how do people submit, should we just set up a Google email address for that? And then should it?
Like I said, if we can wait one more day, I can answer Gmail, or if you need potentially a one that you have access to.
Okay, so we will, okay. And then the other thing I want to make sure that we, nail in is the time. I didn't do it. I don't think we're ready to open the call, right? I don't think we're ready. Yeah.
We open it on Monday, though. Have an answer from Shane and.
Well, so the convenient part is that none of this will see the light of day until we're ready to send it. And so we can plug in the day that we're able to open the call.
Right.
To the timeline.
Yeah.
Then it's just a matter of making sure that we're bumping things out in such a way that we have time to review them. But also provides people plenty of time to respond.
Yeah, I sort of have a related question. I don't want to go too far out, but like the library's recent fall, like we sort of have a very simple image, and then presumably there's some other things with like all this information. Like I assume when we're blasting out the email to people, we're not sending them like this as a.
My assumption is that we would put all this on our website.
Yeah.
And then there would be a very brief blurb and email that would say, "We review the full file."
Right.
Go from there.
Okay.
But I think then that becomes a Daniel question, right? So, can you please put this?
Yes.
And I just assume there'd be like a button or some kind of visible call to action on the main mission webpage that you would put on and get the whole. But yeah, we wouldn't. We need just the
Yeah.
overview or whatever subset makes sense. Whatever people want in that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like from what. That the, like, I mean, the artwork drop off should be like July 31st. Basically, because they're going sitting around, so you can kind of vote that. And then. Work backward from there. To. Like, in theory, this is all work that's already created, right? So people are just like mentioning things.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I've
so there's
created
a
things
big,
for calls, and I've also just submitted things that I have planned around.
I just don't know, because the gap between when the jury results and the instructions are emailed to when.
Oh,
they
yes,
Actually drop things off.
right, so when people respond to the call, they are submitting pictures of their art and stuff.
Right, so then the jury results and artwork drop off instructions could be the week of July 25th. I mean, you would want to give it a little more time, obviously, with summer vacations and stuff, but like, that's a long break between. Feels like more, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That how much time feels reasonable that we could condense that, just so we have enough time to move and review the applications.
I think, I would say that depends on whether or not we include the timeline in the initial communication.
Sure.
Sometimes timelines are included. Sometimes.
Yeah.
If we don't include it, then I want to give people as much of a heads up as possible of like, hey, if you're out of town on July 31st,
Right.
whatever the magic date is, you better make sure that your mother-in-law is very dressed up.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I think if you just say art will need to be dropped off on July 31st.
Right.
Please be prepared for our submission.
Right. Either it's you or your property needs to be ready to do that. So as long as we say that from the get-go, I think.
Are you guys gonna be hanging their art, or are they going to be hanging their art?
Yeah.
You guys are? Okay.
I think that'd be real tough to coordinate the individual things that are, because like we tell them various, I can imagine.
No, just, yeah.
So
But I think you
we drop
could-
it off and then we get it all.
But so then you could, if you had that information in there, then you could push the actual deadline to apply. I mean, maybe we would go away at the end of June. And then at our July meeting. I don't know, it's our July meeting. We have to figure something out.
Well, and I wasn't sure how we wanted the selection committee to be, like, would that be our meeting or would that be a separate like breakout group and then do we then vote on, I don't, I'm not
Well,
sure
you
that
usually
process.
don't have meetings in summer, you usually wait till July.
I think that. Well, we didn't last summer, but we were reading.
The tax usually just typically.
Yeah.
they-
Oh, and
We can
it
do what we want, but, that would probably be good to get set, honestly, sooner rather than later, you know. I mean, I think I volunteered for the libraries call, we're gonna review everything in 2 hours on that day. So, I feel like we could do something similar,
Because
just
we
pick
have
a day.
on that process, like whatever you experience, that's why I really want somebody.
I'll bring you the information that I've gleaned from it.
Yeah, so we can kind of recycle that same approach.
Yeah, but I think as a selection committee, the commission is the selection committee, and we just, yeah, hopefully I'll fix it up. Good, seven of us. I don't even know how many there are. Yeah, 2-3 hours.
That was that's why I left such a big range for that. Actually, I guess I didn't, it's offended. Because that part does not, I tried to coordinate it so that there would be plenty of time for us to get our act together.
Yeah.
Or community wise. And then, have another meeting if we needed to before going back out.
I think we should just get ourselves together as soon as possible.
I do.
That would be the date, and like, if you want to participate, and hopefully at least more people from the commission will participate, so we can, we need to vote on who gets to the show. That seems complicated. But we call ourselves a selection committee, then we should just pick a date.
Then the committee can report to the
Yeah,
public meeting about their decision.
and you can volunteer, and maybe there's all 7 of us, maybe there's some.
Okay.
But make the decision now, and say, here's what's happening. Yes, giving the deadline, just so we do have time to finish this and get it out into the world. But whatever, June 30th. This is a month to find a date and meet and tell people what's happening. So things like,
We're
yeah,
thinking June 30th for the deadline to apply. Well, I feel like asking most people to meet during July time is kind of difficult. Right.
that would be the worst.
So.
But if we moved it to the next week, or
We just move it to the following week, the following week, where we have the jury results. Then so that maybe July 8th is actually the deadline.
I see what you're saying.
And then the
Yeah.
following week, we
Meet and be
meet.
And then you can let people know by July 18th. Like whatever we
We've
need,
done
we should let people.
doing our jury thing by the 15th, and then by Monday the 18th. we can let people know.
Yeah.
Is that reasonable?
That works for me as long as people are cool, that I will be out of town for the week of the review. But I would not be part of that.
Oh.
Are you?
I believe it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, and I'm okay that.
I mean, you can always look at the emails that come in too, and look at what's being submitted.
The selection committee could be virtual,
Yeah, for sure.
if we're looking at everything.
You know,
I'm gonna be in the,
Good job.
I got invited to a workshop in Santa Cruz.
Oh, fun.
Whatever's clever. mean, we could even say that we'll let people know by the 20th. Yeah, yeah. If we want to be a part of the period. Oh, you won't be back? Okay, well.
I'm totally cool not being part of it.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that people knew that my leadership. I'm doing it.
Well, you'll be back for helping to hang it, right? That's gonna be a real party.
Cool, okay, so we said, the deadline reply, okay, so
So the
call opens whenever we open.
Yeah.
Deadline to apply is July 8th.
Yeah.
Selection committee reviews, week of July 15th, basically. Let people know July 20th.
So we'll, meet sometime the week of July 11th. Decisions will be made by July 15th, but people will know the week of July. But whatever, I don't know the English necessarily, but for our own.
I'll say by the 20th, but by the 22nd. If you let people know sooner, then we'll change it, okay. But if you don't let people know by the 22nd, then on the 23rd, you'll get email saying, when will you let me know? when you have the show?"
And you will tidy up this draft and send it to me so I have a new clean hard copy of it. These that you guys just all changed.
Yes. and just all deadlines and such. Get on there.
Did you want to have a reception? I saw that was crossed out.
I ended up just crossing it out because it felt like a detail that we didn't necessarily figure out in order to get to that. But we can put straight talk about that.
I mean, if you want one, we can help do the work on that.
What would that look like? Does that mean we invite the artists here during that time?
Invite the community and the artists, right?
Just when,
Just
like
like
on the
our-
first
like-
night, like the grand opening and you do,
I would suggest you do it as, instead of, do it as a reception, not necessarily as a meeting reception.
Yeah.
That way it gives you the whole month to choose from.
Yeah.
the date
And
rather
say,
than a
the first is in.
first
Yeah.
day.
Be a real number.
Gonna be the first Thursday event going in Weston.
Give me first Thursday if you want. Whatever you want to be, we can make that happen. So time won't be eliminated, including the weekends.
Yeah.
And also we can help to arrange the catering and all that. So that doesn't, that, if you just say, Doug, take care of the catering and this is the date we want to have it. We can do those two things.
we're kind of pros at that. Just saying.
I love
That's all we do.
Just let us know when you want us to roll in the red carpet. We'll do that for you. Awesome. Yeah. On top of everything else you guys are trying to figure out, like. Yeah, ring reception.
We have to vote on it. Okay, so we've got a name of the show. We've got a timeline. We have Doug investigating some things for us to, with email and MailChimp. We can figure out how to send this thing out. We also help us post it on the website. We still have to think about a reception.
I'm pro reception, but.
Oh, we figure that out later. Let's table that one. Can we put that on the June agenda?
You got it.
Cool. Okay, you feel good about this today? Yeah. Thank you so much for all this stuff. Yeah, for this. You know, now it's moving forward and marshal this all together. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, did you want to officially give the final update on the bylaws? Yeah, what feels like forever ago, I dialed into the city council meeting and there were some questions and public comments about our policies and guidelines. And then we were, so now it's official.
Right, that's all we get.
Okay, Danielle, will you tell us about the water station?
Sure. So let me preface by saying that I know this has been a contentious situation. I don't understand it. I'm still trying to. I will absolutely, I have no intention of peer pressuring anybody into agreeing to anything, okay? I can give you Lance's pitch and you guys can say no. Okay, I just want to make sure that's clear. So to the best of my understanding, the Main Street is handling the fountain topper situation, the question of whether there will be one, what it will look like, whether it's short-term, long-term, all that. But Lance has asked if you guys might be interested in, because this is a pretty large, physical structure, it's like wider than a door, it's pretty tall. There, we have a whole side that is facing the street that has nothing on it at all. He has suggested, if you guys want, you could think about installing temporary art or doing a call for artists or getting permanent art up there, or even treating it as a kind of curated museum space where you want to like showcase different people or rotate or whatever you want to do. It's available should this option appeal to the group.
And it's outside
It's outside
and it's made of concrete.
it is made of concrete.
So it would have to be something like it.
That's the idea, yeah.
And it's like stone, right? Like it's
I can give you a picture if that's helpful. It's kind of a, not, it's kind of like a rough stone, yeah.
like it's not like a flat surface.
Right, so there is a, here, you can pass that around. That's the other side of it. There's a street facing side, which I think is more what he was thinking of, but it is.
But it's that
large
same
blocks. Yeah, it's the same
block.
material. Yeah.
So if we were to like end up doing thing like a mosaic or something, then it would probably be something that was mounted to another.
Which the
Surface
city,
and-
I understand, should be able to offer if that's something you guys wanted to do. Yeah. I think Lance has some ideas for how we could, make it removable and more like, like a traditional kind of space where you can mount art.
And does the other side have the two fountains on it too?
Yes, the other, well, so there's a street facing side, there's the two fountains, and then there's, which are the traditional water fountains.
Yep.
And then on the back sidewalk side, there's the water bottle fill stations, and then there's a door on the fourth side.
Okay, so it's like fully.
Yeah, so we just have one totally naked surface. Yeah.
Is there a timeline on that, by when you have to decide, or?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, yeah, this has been a slow project and I don't expect it to pick up the pace.
So is there still going to be a topper of some kind?
Last I heard, they were talking about having a temporary one that just kind of was very basic and would, have moving water, kind of like a hose, garden hose sort of effect on top. And, yeah, it's not clear yet, but was the last thing I heard.
There was a meeting, I volunteered for that committee too, because not, I unfortunately missed the meeting, but I did see there was some like subset of that group that had some.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not very helpful, but.
It might make sense to wait until there's more, until the toppers are more of a known quantity,
Okay.
so that.
Exactly, we would want to do something that. Crashes or something.
No, I like the idea of putting something like you're doing faster. Space.
Do you have an opinion about the idea of having something rotating or having a more permanent installation? Permanent would be better, okay. Okay.
You've heard the discussion about.
No.
This
is just one.
Well, I feel like anything that's set up as a, like, every 6 months, we'll work it out. That would be really cool for 18 months, and then something will happen. It will fall out, and it will just be, like when you went into a public restroom during COVID, and all of the things that you said advertisements on the bathroom stalls were just empty, it'll just be that. For like you know it.
Well, yeah, it'd be great to do something with schools. Anyway, having one thing.
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
You, thank you.
Yeah, for your update on things.
Are you ready to tell us about the Archbridge?
Kind of, but not in the way that I originally thought. So I never heard back I reached out to Lori a couple times. I don't know if you did anything from her.
I ran into her here at the library when she was handing out the historic magazines that they had just created for the, and she had mentioned it, and she asked me to ask you to put it on the agenda, and that's all, and I haven't heard anything.
Well, I know she sent the email to you, well, to both of us a while back.
Mhm.
And then I happened to notice when I was uploading the spreadsheet of contacts, the Dropbox, that she had signed up, and in the comments, she said, any interest in being involved in that registration annual. So I know it's on her mind that she has something like that with people. So she would have reached out about potentially hosting some kind of plein air painting event on the western side of the bridge. So that's one thing that, as far as I know, is still in play. I don't know. But then another event I heard about in connection with the event is Trieste Andrews, who's really active in various arts groups in Oregon City. She is heading up a project to do. She's looking to commission 3 different murals that all work together somehow. One would represent kind of the meaning of the Archbridge and the view from it, like an interpretation of the Archbridge from the Oregon City side. One would represent from the Westland side, and one would represent the point of view of the tribes. And so then all 3 of these murals would work together. She was envisioning that they could almost like take a mini tour where they could be displayed for a while, that each organization went wherever it makes sense. And then ultimately, since they would be distinct panels, each city or organization for them to own theirs to do whatever they wanted long term. She's envisioning it as each mural would be, each piece of it would be an 8 by 4 foot. And she is going to be doing a call for artists to design each panel, but doing it as essentially a paint by numbers, so that then it becomes a community event at the actual centennial celebration, where anyone can come up and help paint the mural. I guess she did a similar project about that, and it was like this huge hit. And then I was excited because they helped paint the mural, but they didn't have to feel like they knew what they were doing. Yeah, and that's like, her name's Trieste, Trieste Andrews. She used to be she's the president of the Three Rivers Artist Guild. That used to operate that gallery out of San Diego Cafe. Yes, so she is talking to various groups, primarily through Oregon City, to secure as much of the funding as she can. She's anticipating spending around $3,000 in total. And I told her that I would bring this group to see if there is interest in helping cover some of that funding as well. Since, well, first off, does Westland want to support this idea of mural? And if so, are we going to help really support it? Ultimately, so my understanding was that her intention was that at first the 3 would kind of be displayed together on like a rotating basis. But then eventually, like the Westland portion would be Westland. Perhaps come out on the water fountain. I don't know. It's probably right about the right dimensions. That 8 by 4 feet. Yeah.
Bigger than a boat.
Sounds about right.
The timeline fits too.
Yes.
It's in October, and I doubt we're getting anywhere.
That's helpful. I actually was gonna ask what it was all supposed to happen.
Yeah, so it's the first weekend of October, it's the full Archbridge Centennial Celebration thing. As far as I know, it's not officially determined if it's the first or the second or both. it's not clear to me who's actually organizing the event.
It is not clear to the organizers.
All I know is that keep catching wind of.
We have a logistics committee, you know, it's, there's a lot of moving parts.
So if we wanted to contribute, what are they asking for? Who do we pay it to? How does that work?
So the budget is 3,000 overall. She's hoping to give, so she's looking to commission 3 artists with them each getting $750 honorarium plus $750 as their estimate for materials. So that should come up with $3,000 total. So I was thinking it would at least be fair to cover the artist that's doing the Western portion, potentially also a portion. Yeah. So she didn't ask for a specific amount. I actually said like, hey, let me bring this over to our commission and see if we could help you with that.
So I think formally, if you decide that you want to vote on this and do it, you don't have a point at this moment. But, then make a recommendation for this to come out of the percentage for the arts to the city council and get it on their agenda. So, because I think the way the bylaws are, that
Yeah.
recommendations.
Yeah, we can't personally spend it, but yeah. That's the, and I guess we'll wait for our next meeting to. Hold on. Unless people who it right after that, in which case we don't need that. I think it seems cool.
There's a wall right outside these doors. right?
We need to see them display the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, she was super excited. She came up to me after our publication. She's like, can I talk to you? I have an idea. I want to talk to you about it. And I had to wait like a week before I talked to her. And she was like, of course I did. And she was very excited. Okay. She's an awesome person.
Would they be murals that would be indoor, outdoor?
It would need to be outdoor for the event.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
yes, but
we
eventually
can do
for the
outdoors.
display, for the long term.
I kind of was assuming outdoors, but she didn't specify.
Mural usually to me is outside.
Yeah, not always.
No, I wrote down triptych. To me, as a paint by numbers, I'm doing that at campus, but you know.
I guess, so you would get the, sorry. When she did this before, I guess she worked with artists who have experience designing things kind of for this type of scenario where you're painting it in such a way that you know that it has to be kind of acceptable,
Yeah.
and then transfer the image to the panel, and you know, what colors will work.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll wait to do more on that.
Well, maybe nothing more.
But more than we've heard Sherry's update on the Harvard Market. Is there anything else?
Just sort of thinking about the schedule and looking, I see that very nice, but June 1st, as of the next meeting. I guess we can't vote on it, but I just personally would say if we can at least take August and September off. September, the first Wednesday, it's the 7th, which is the day of Labor Day. And it would be nice to have like, know that there is time blocked out for more mission stuff. So we're thinking about because we can.
I think you can make that decision today.
Okay. We'll talk about that next time.
I will add that to the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Or I can just announce that I will be absent for August and September.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe we should just get a better sense, because I don't think I'm gonna do that as well. Get a better sense of like, looking ahead, 6 meetings, you know, you can't think, and then
Maybe just a general meeting schedule, like,
Yeah, like,
conversation that we started having for charity job, and it's like, is this really the right time for everybody?
because if we move, we're only gonna meet every other month, then we probably approach the community with them.
Yeah. Maybe people would be able to.
One thing I did want to bring up, and we have a small enough crowd that I see it resolved right now, but I've been liaising with the Clackamas County Arts Alliance and with this arts commissions and groups group, which is basically just liaisons with all different Clackamas County city arts organizations and couple galleries and various things. Stuff on that, yes. And I would love to pass that voice to somebody else. It's a monthly meeting. It's kind of networking. It's kind of a mix of networking, and sometimes there's like a scheduled presenter that last time somebody from the media group wants to talk about different promotional avenues. There's advertising for them. So people presented about like different grant opportunities. So, if anyone listening or anyone here would like to think about becoming that person or even like alternating, like some groups have people that, you know, like it's gonna be one or the other, these two people can show up different.
Yeah.
What do they mean? They currently meet the fourth Thursday of every month. My impression is that there is not any desire to make that, like the Texas kind of commission does not have a physical. But that might be some plan to include something unless there's like a special event. Yeah, every fourth Tuesday, 4 to 5, or Tuesday. Did I say that's Thursday, 4?
Tuesday?
Yeah. Fourth Tuesday, 4 to 5. I'm actually reading that now, so that was the right one. Apologies, guys. I would really like to, but I'm not sure I can. It sounds so cool, man. Is that different than the Parkins Park Alliance? It's the same, yeah. You see like this, yes. Wow. It's like I don't believe it's that's official. That's a journey.